Here on Delmarva Life, we love to know what's going on in your neighborhood. Maybe it's an event, maybe it's a community gathering.
Well, we would love to hear about it and see your photos. Send us an email at comments@delmarvalife.com or like us on Facebook and share the info there.
You know, it seems like Mother Nature cannot make up her mind. We went from comfortable weather to winter jackets over the weekend, and we're back to 70 on Black Friday.
Yeah, this blast of cold air is nothing like what a powerful storm brought to the nation's midsection last week. Heavy snow and strong wind gusts stranded cars and shut down interstates in Denver, Colorado. Some spots saw up to 3 feet of snow in 72 hours.
That same system brought violent storms and more than a dozen tornadoes last week in Kansas and Texas. It continued to move, brought severe thunderstorms and flooding to Arkansas and Louisiana. In Spokane, Washington, 70-mile-an-hour winds knocked over 175 trees in less than an hour. And in the Seattle area, flooding sent people scrambling. And it could be a taste of what's to come. Some forecasters say El Nino is going to bring wet weather this winter, and this is just the beginning.
Oh boy. Joining us now to talk more about the El Nino is WBOC Chief Meteorologist Dan Satterfield.
Hello.
Dan, thanks for joining us this afternoon. Okay, so we talked about the situation in Washington, and we heard reports of winds in the mountains up to like 119 miles per hour. Isn't that basically the equivalent of a Category 3 hurricane?
Yeah, you're getting there.
Yeah.
You're right there.
Is it because of El Nino?
It could be or could not be. You know, you'll get a storm like that in Washington State in November every now and then. That's a biggie. Although El Nino is definitely showing up right now in the weather charts, and El Nino tends to bring big storms into the Pacific West, sometimes into the Northwest, just like this. Dumps heavy snow in the Cascades, and we're already starting to see that really show up now. There's no doubt about it. This is a big El Nino roll.
All right, so El Nino records began in 1950.
Yeah,
as
pretty
of right
good
now,
ones begin in 50. Yeah.
They're indicating that the surface temperatures that we have in the sea are higher than ever before on record.
Well, for November, yes. And what we do is we look at a little area. There's a region out in the Pacific called the El Nino 3 region and the El Nino 4 region, where we look at those temperatures. Right. And there's a box between them. We call it the 3.4 region. And in that area, that's where we really judge El Nino. The temperatures are the hottest we've been measuring.
So what's that mean for us?
Well, it means we're in for a big El Nino this winter. But here on Delmarva, our winter weather is affected by El Nino, but not to a huge degree. The northern plains will tend to be warm and dry for winter, and the Gulf Coast gets really wet.
Right.
Here on Delmarva, we're kind of in between both of those, so we can have an average winter or we can have maybe a different winter. The thing to do is to go back, and since this is such a strong El Nino, let's go back and look in history at what the two biggest El Ninos brought to Delmarva. And the answer is, for the most part, temperatures were a little bit above normal. And also the snowfall most of the time was below normal, although in one winter we had a pretty good one big snowstorm.
Yeah. Okay, so talking temperatures, I mean, November, so far so good.
Oh,
see, we've had temperatures in the 70s and we've had some cold days, but that doesn't mean we're out of the woods, right?
Now, let me show you a map though. If you want to talk about the long range forecast, you really have to look at the oceans, because the top 30 feet of the oceans hold more heat than the entire atmosphere.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, you can see that red area west of South America. This is for November so far. That's El Nino showing up. Notice the eastern United States, all of eastern North America, dark red.
Yeah.
Temperatures have been way above normal. Yeah, we've had some chilly weather here. But for the month, if you average it up, it's been a very warm November. This is a typical type of El Nino pattern you'd see.
Okay, so we've talked about the East Coast, how warm it's been, but the temperatures are also affected in the jungles of southern Mexico and Central America.
Yeah, it's more offshore in the waters there, where the waters get so warm, the species change out.
Yeah.
So the fishermen start saying, hey, I'm not getting my normal catch. You do tend to get a bit more rain down there, for sure. You get some floods and landslides. The opposite's going on, by the way, in the west, out towards Samoa and back over toward East Asia. They're having a drought because of El Nino.
Wow.
All right, so I'm going to ask you the million-dollar question, which I'm sure you're getting all the time. What can we expect as far as snow this winter?
Right now, I would say that it's probably not going to be a snowy winter. However, the El Ninos can sometimes bring you a surprise. The other thing you should remember, and I'm going to talk about this soon, but on TV we're going to talk about the winter forecast, but I got to tell you this, is we have a sample size of 2 big El Ninos to go back and look at, which means, you know, that's not much.
That's not much.
Yeah, both of those tended to bring us mild winters. One of them had one big snow and the rest of the winter was dry.
Yeah.
But keep that in mind. El Nino is not the big player in Delmarva weather that other factors are.
All right, we're going to learn more when we see your story, and we
That's
look
right.
forward to seeing
Sure.
Old Man Winter. That's Wednesday on WBOC News at 6.
I'm going to be watching that.
I
I'm just
am
going to
too.
tell you. Well, no matter what weather comes our way, one thing is for sure, you can still have beautiful color from your garden all year long. Up next on Delmarva Life, we're all about the berries with gardening expert Jenny Rosenkrantz. You're going to see how easy it is to get pops of color even if you don't have a green thumb.
And if you work up an appetite getting your garden good to go, we've got you covered there too a little later. See how you can get a taste of Ireland right here on Delmarva. It's food that'll fill you right up.
But first, it's time to vote for Delmarva's Neediest Roof. From now through Friday, you can vote for 3 finalists in the 4th annual Delmarva's Neediest Roof giveaway sponsored by Spicer Brothers Construction. The winner will be announced December 3rd.
To see the nominees and to vote, go to our website, WBOC.com. Click on our picture at the top of the page. Delmarva Life. We'll be right back.